Welcome to Conscious Crypto, checking back in. Made some calls on this past rally, and honestly, calling shorts is not ideal. In fact, that we do have a long signal here, which I was in. I've since closed and reversed my position short. Now, I normally don't use that straight up reverse function, and I didn't in this case either. I wanted more position size to the downside. I have been unable to take off my bear lenses, except to take a few longs. I mean, this has been a strong uptrend and it's generated definitely some long signals. But honestly, like 82.5 feels like a correct top. It's a very strong bear market. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. So the 200-day moving average is this white line. You've seen the first test, you see the second test, potentially the third test. Now, the fact that we have this candle activity is showing me like we potentially want to go higher, or there is a redistribution happening here in a turnover. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I just look at technical signals and I'm seeing two technical signals, which is a hit of divergence and on the 1 hour peaking out of its volatility, pushing up. It just moved up so quickly. Let's look at this actually differently. Let's go to the 12 hour. Take a quick look at how strong this move was this morning. You see in the top corner here, I'm gonna keep my cursor on there, but you can see right here the dollar amount. That's 1,825. The ADR is 1,871. So in less than 12 hours, actually closer to, yeah, about 4 hours plus this little guy, it moved, looks in 4 hours, $2,000. That's absurd to me. All right, that's more than the average daily range in one candle. If you were going to trap longs anywhere, you would trap them in here and you would roll this over and down and down we go. Now, I can't say for sure how far down we go because again, the longs have been working, right? The longs have been working, but just to show you, I am in some shorts. I'm not in the biggest positions. I'm normally at least a Bitcoin. I'm in half a Bitcoin. Whoop-de-doo. Pretty stoked about my entry though. Not sure what this freaking green line is. But yeah, that's essentially where I'm living right there. And then down here on Solana, I've got a similar, just entered right here at this doji candle and expecting it just to roll over. These are long-term holds. God, 300 Solana is super small. And this is also small. So like this gives me room to add. It was to add in case this thing rolled higher than rolled over. But I'm also willing to add if we break down here and get some sort of pullback that screams to me, hey, downtrend established, pull back, check and go, or what I call a check and go, which here's a perfect example of a check and go. The Bitcoin checking off the 50 moving average, moving up strongly, checking again, moving up strongly. That would be a check and go. See it over here as well. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but you gotta look for levels and confluence. All of that's just to say is I'm feeling this one. I wish it would happen a little faster with a little more volume, a vector candle or something to that effect. Because yeah, I could literally post this and it could literally stop here, maybe roll here, and then continue to the upside. It's just hard to say, but with the Clarity Act, this might be one of the buy the rumor, sell the news. So buy the rumor, sell the news literally might be what I post this for. But ultimately, I'm gonna show you guys one other thing. These are my ultimate levels for Bitcoin and these blue lines here. So these equate to the strongest volume going into last year's bull market all the way into 2024 in reality, and just looking at where the most volume was and based on the volume profile, if you guys just want to see here, strong, here, strong, going all the way back to here, and then here as well. So 86 is kind of my worst, I want to say worst case. I hold Bitcoin, so going up is great. I was not expecting this. I was looking for more buying opportunities. That's what the market tends to do. So at the end of the day, yeah, I would be super, super bullish if we close above this breakdown. I would be super bullish if we close above this breakdown and create some sort of maybe small pullback, but then onward and upward. Holy smoke. So down to here, maybe a little chip, and then getting above this, retesting. I mean, I'd say we're going to see 100,000 again. Um, but in terms of a bear market rally, this one is significant. This stands out just from this more recent move, 25% from the bottom, the 60K mark, 35, almost 36%. That's unprecedented. That's unprecedented. Take a look elsewhere here. Some of these fractals we were comparing to, let's see. And oh, 42. Look like a dunce. Let's see what actual 42% was. That was $12,000 though. So like 42% moves in the past just weren't the same as they are today. Um, because this one is 60 to 83, so 23,000. And this one's simply, once again, in the $15,000 range. Just go look at one more instance here, the logarithmic for you. Man, I just struggle to go too far back because this was a different Bitcoin, but 45%, $3,000 rally. Right? As the markets matured, these percentages will get smaller, but more importantly, the actual price movements will get larger. So to me, this is incredibly significant coming up to the 50 moving average on the 5 day. Like you can see how this is probably some other moving average on somebody else's channel that could tell you it's like, oh, this is the 110-day moving average and it's a key significant Bitcoin. Da, 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 da. Like, okay, cool, sure. I'm just saying that this was a huge area of accumulation before our last pulse up and got retested so strongly that it really didn't just bounced on top. It didn't even accumulate within it, and then broke through with a strong, strong candle. It had to be. So coming back into this, yeah, it just again, I can't see us getting past. I just can't see us getting past that. But I have to be aware of it. I have to put my risk parameters in place right now. Part of me is interested to see how this rolls over. It feels like a controlled bleed on the way over, but that could also be that the buying power just ran out and no one is selling. But I come off of like market maker theory. So, this is technically a 1 hour vector cross on Solana, and more importantly, a 4 hour vector cross, but it did not break this strong, strong, strong down candle. And again, the reason I took a long in here is because this was a almost a $4 candle, and the ADR on Solana is $3.20. So the volatility is picking up. Here we go. Could keep rolling over. And this is like, am I not better positioned? Am I not better positioned? Because I've been burned back here a little bit. For example, my first short position was built here, and then I literally closed half of it right when this broke. I got in, I was adding in here, and then I just got stress tested on this candle, and I just said, that's technically where my stop is. I got to take half the position. And then it rolled back over and closed me back out. So, yeah, all this is to say is like, this is going to be a strong deciding point in all of these markets. Uh, but not closing above these points of interest, these CPR points of interest, these central pivot ranges, that's a big one as well. ETH got a 1 hour major hidden divergence. So it did get one regular bear dive, but this is a little bit more of a major. When you push that with that much strength and you can't make anything else out of the move, It's a trap, in my opinion. It's a trap. So major hidden bearish divergence, one drive of regular bullish divergence. Again, this market could be, it could go either way. It could go either way. But why, unless this is an accumulation range, take a look at Ethereum. These vector candles are significant. It means that they have 200 times the volume of the past 10 to 15 candles based on your settings. And every time it shoot up, it just rolled over. Shoot up, rolled over. Good vector, strong sell-off vector. But more importantly, like these two, right? This little green, red or green, pink, it's just like someone selling into strength. Trading is over here. Same thing here, selling into strength. And then to me, this would be the last one. That is a vector candle. You can see down there, it's a doji. Assume it's gonna roll over. This is one of those things. My video's already been too long. Just wanted to clue you all in with the positions that I've taken, the entries that I've taken. And at this point, yeah, anything closing above this wick on a 4-hour time frame is an invalidation. And that's what my smaller position sizing allows me to do. A couple $100, cool. Same thing here. Really, it's closing above this 4-hour cross because that's the signal. That's the signal. So when it tapped this 93, I got really excited. I've been setting up for that. I'm hoping to take it farther. The only thing that I'm not loving about this is that, you know, the RSI is kind of reset. The TDI has reset and is now testing the bullish control zone at the 40 mark. So once again, you know, if I looked at this from a macro perspective, and it wasn't a bear market, at least if I didn't know about the 4-year cycles of Bitcoin and crypto, I would say, yeah, sure, we're probably due for a rally out of here. Yeah, we've been down here for a long time accumulating. I'm sure that we'll retest one of these moving averages on Solana. Same thing on Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, I've actually seen some sufficient bear market rally. But if we're changing the narrative, if the institutions are taking over with their ETFs and they're trying to accumulate all the Bitcoin and they're trying to super cycle it, then yeah, this very well could be what it looks like, which is just grinding, trudging its way off. Sell-offs are being bought up. So I am no longer in a firm bear position. I am perplexed by the market, but I have to take signals when I see them. And try to lean into a long-term swing trade, which is what I do. Longs have been the long term, but this video's gone too long, so I'm gonna get the fuck off because nobody's watching. Peace. Like, subscribe.